Okay, so what we're doing next, although you're going to be starting the test here in a second, I want you to know where we're going and you can get started. So right now on chapter 4, we've gotten through these 2 lessons and you're starting the motherboard project. Okay. The first thing you guys are going to have to do is you're going to have to go to right here where it says motherboard presentation choices, and you have to choose which one. And you can see a bunch of them say they're full, so there's only 1 space available. Why does it say that? There should be a space that gigabyte is full. Oh, there we go. Okay, so there's a space there, a space there. There should be 3 spaces available. I'm going to have to look at that and fix that. But you guys will be able to pick those 2. So the idea here is that you're going to pick a company and a socket set. So after watching the last video, you know AM socket set means it's for AMD processor. We've already had announcements. And you're late. Sit down. And LGA means it's for an Intel processor. Okay, sit down. So you guys are going to get a company and a socket set that applies to this presentation. Okay. So the idea on the presentation is that you're representing some company, and by the way, everything builds on this presentation. So it's one that you need to actually do the best at, in my opinion, on all. Okay. So you're going to represent a company. You're from Gigabyte, and you're going to be selling us 3 motherboards from Gigabyte. So as you do this research, you're doing it from the perspective of I work for Gigabyte. I'm selling you 3 motherboards. Okay. So whether you do it using Google Docs, whether you use it using PowerPoint, I don't care. At the bottom of the presentation down here, after every class that I give you time to work on, you need to either upload the current file that you have, or in the notes you can give me a link to your Google Doc. Make sure you share it to me or I won't be able to see it. So here's the idea. You're going to come from a company, and on that company you're going to give us background of headquarters. I'm big on graphics. You should be telling me about the company, and you're not telling me, because obviously you're going to know everything about Gigabyte when you're done. He's going to know nothing about Gigabyte. He's going to know nothing about Gigabyte. So you're telling all of us about your company. So I'm big on pictures and maps and graphics and stuff, so make sure you include that kind of stuff. So you're going to tell us all about you and your company, and then you're going to tell us about the 3 motherboards that you're here to sell, and I'm going to go down to the specifications. You're going to sell us a motherboard for a home PC, a business PC, and a high-end gamer PC. And they can't be the same one. It has to be 3 different ones. I had one student who was like, but they matches all. No, it's 3 different motherboards. The home PC motherboard is whatever you can find that's cheapest from your manufacturer. Everything should be integrated, the audio, video, network, all integrated on the motherboard, so that if Corey bought this motherboard, all he would have to do is put in RAM and a CPU and he's good to go. He's off to the races, okay? Shouldn't have to buy anything else. So price is the overriding factor, the cheapest one your manufacturer makes. The business PC is a step up in quality. It has to have at least a gigabit network card. It has to have at least 2 SATA 3 gigabit or faster hard drive ports. And when we go and look at motherboards, you'll see it'll list what kind of hard drives connect up to it. It has to be able to take at least 8 gig of RAM. And none of these are on the home. Cheap. Down here, it has to take at least 8 gig of RAM. And it has to, again, have integrated components, because a business isn't going to put a gamer video card in. They just want a high-end motherboard that runs fast, but then they don't want to add anything else into it. Okay? And then we've got the gamer, which looks very similar to a business. It's got the same video card, the same SATA ports, the same amount of RAM, but then it adds better audio and better video. It has to take 2, and they're called PCIe X16 ports. These are high-end gamer video card ports. It has to have 2 of those, and it has to have audio that's 6-channel or better. In other words, you could push surround sound in your house if you wanted to. Okay? So those are the 3 levels of motherboards you're going to be looking into. You're going to go into that choice. You're going to pick your company. You're going to start out today looking up and reading about your company. And then on the company site, it lists what kind of motherboards they sell. And you can kind of peruse through. And as you're looking at those motherboards, you have to say, I don't know what that is, and then you go and Google it. Okay? If you don't know what FSB is, you Google motherboard FSB. Don't just put in FSB. I guarantee you there's tons of things with those acronyms. You have to be specific of what you're looking for. And then the idea is that on this research project, by the time you're done building this, you will know all those things. Okay? And we're going to go over some of that on Tuesday. After you've had a chance to look at it today and look at it a little bit more on Tuesday. We're going to look at some other motherboard sites. I'm not going to look intentionally at Gigabyte or Asus because those are two of the ones that we're doing in MSI. Are the three companies I think that I left open for you guys. Okay, so that's what you guys are going to do today. You're going to pick yours out and start researching on your company. You're going to take the Chapter 3 test. Okay, and then we need to get you caught up. That's what you guys are doing today, so you need to get out a laptop, and I need to open up that assignment.